Coming home with baby. All the antenatal classes and all the reading of the books doesn't quite prepare you for coming home with baby. That overwhelming feeling of meeting your baby, the sleep deprivation, that love for your baby, the questioning, am I doing this right? Why is my baby crying? Is it something I have done? That can be the normal transition into parenthood for both mothers and fathers. We begin to doubt ourselves. I'm responsible for this little baby for the rest of his or her life. You have this overwhelming feeling that you never knew you had. But maybe for some, they may not have that overwhelming feeling of love. It may take you a while to fall in love with your baby. But we need to know what is normal and what is not. We've heard about the third day blues. That's when you might be feeling tearful, you're tired, you could be crying, you're emotional, you're crying, you don't know what's wrong with you. What I would say to you is just let it out. Just really let go. You're releasing that stress, that overwhelming feeling. But sometimes the crying may go on. Maybe, not all the time, but maybe it might last a week or two where there's intermittent crying, and that's okay. It's sheer tiredness most of the time. But we need to kind of distinguish what is postnatal depression as opposed to maybe the kind of postnatal unhappiness and tiredness. There's a large amount of women that do suffer with postnatal depression, but what are the signs and symptoms? They're different for everybody. I suppose throughout my work over the last number of years, or I won't say how many working with women, it can be different. But I suppose often some of the signs can be maybe you're just not feeling yourself. You're feeling irritable. You maybe don't feel that you want to go out. Maybe you're afraid to hold your baby. Maybe you're kind of being negative on yourself. And for the partners, if you feel that you're treading on eggshells, alarm bells should be ringing. If you're tearful, if you're just feeling flat, they are signs that you maybe could be suffering with postnatal depression. And to be honest, what I would say is that none of us will go through life without some dip. It could be in the teenage years, it could be in the postnatal period, it could be later on in life. None of us will go through life without some dip, but we need to do something about it. Often the partners will ask you women or us, are you okay? Is there anything I can do? And we find ourselves snapping at the people we love. But really, we need to get professional help. We need to talk. Do we want to go through life being a bit flat? No. We want to enjoy life. We want to enjoy our baby. But sometimes we need to get help and support. That might be counselling. But your first port of call is your GP. It may mean going on some medication for a short time. But I always say there's no point just taking the medication without having some form of counselling or some therapy or behavioural cognitive therapy along with that. And having a supportive relationship as well. It's not just a woman's problem. What the research says is it's a family's problem. Because the women can go away and get the help and support, but if the women can be low, it can often affect the men, and that can affect child development as well. So this is an important family issue. Just talk. There are supports out there. Pick up the phone, ring your GP, your public health, the midwife. We're there to help.